everyone, welcome back to Stephanie Plans and Reads. Today I want to talk about the brain dump, and as you can see in the title to this video, I want to talk about what it is, how to do it, and why it can be useful. So a couple of weeks ago I did a video where I talked about daily planning and what you could use your daily planning pages for if you weren't planning or journaling in them. And I talked about the difference between a brain dump and a brainstorm. And basically a brain dump is when you have a whole bunch of things in your head and you want to get it down on paper, whereas a brainstorm is that you have things that you want to come up with. So if you want to come up with a gift for somebody and you have to think of things and then you write it down to help you think. So I want to talk today a little bit more about the brain dump in particular. So the brain dump was popularized by productivity specialists, and it was a timed, basically regurgitation of everything in your brain. It's basically like a decluttering tool. So if you think about, you've got a lot of things going on in your mind and you just kind of dump them down on a page, regurgitate them on the page. And if you think of your brain as like a cup of water, for example, if it's full, meaning like you have a whole lot of information in there, there's no more space for information to go. And so in order for you to put more water in the cup or more information into your brain, you need to dump out some of the stuff that you have. And a brain dump is a way for you to do that. So brain dumps can help you remember things. It can, as I said, help clear up headspace. It can help you organize your thoughts. It can improve focus and attention. And it can decrease stress and anxiety. So there are different kinds of brain dumps, different ways that you can do it, and each one has their different benefits or their different reasons why you might want to do that kind. So I have a couple examples to go through and I'll show you how I did the brain dump and how it might be, useful for you. So I've got a couple of examples here. The first one is what I would call a free write. So I'm a little bit there. So this is an example from last year. I was thinking about 2025 planners and I just wrote down different things that I was thinking about. I had a lot of, as planners, we have a lot of different ideas in our head about planners, and this is themed around a particular issue. So this is good for solving problems or getting clarity for something specific. So obviously this is a planner one. It's good also if you are nervous or worried about something. So if you have like a job interview or a test and you want to write down, kind of your thoughts and feelings about that specific issue, it's good for helping you get over your nervousness or your worries. Another one, and I don't know if I have an example of that here. Oh, maybe I do. This is a to-do list and it says planner to do, but I ended up making it anything to do. So this is kind of like an example of a free write, and I think I have more examples in this. I have a lot of, free writing, and mostly around planners and planning supplies. But this is where you write down everything you're thinking of. So it's a stream of consciousness. Anything that's in your mind and you want to put out on page. And this is good if you are stuck or overwhelmed about something, if you don't know what to do about something, or just need a general declutter. And I see this the free write as something that really helps anxiety a lot. For me, I have a lot of things in my head. I just want to get them down on paper. Do that general declutter that helps you think just a little bit better about things. The next one I don't have an example for, but I think it's a really useful one, is to do a top 3, an easy 3, and a next 3. So top 3 things that you are thinking about or want to do. This is particularly good with productivity. The easy 3 things that you can do to knock them off your list, and the next 3, so the next 3 steps. And again, this works best for productivity issues. So if you need motivation or you want a boost of energy, so oftentimes we'll do these kinds of things at the beginning of the day to help us feel more motivated, to help us build some momentum. And there are a whole bunch of other different kinds. So a learning brain dump. So if you've gone to a lecture or you read a book and you want to retain some of the information, you might write a free write of all that information that you've learned. And also you could do a gratitude brain dump, listing or writing about all the things that you feel grateful for. So why would we do brain dumps? Well, given, the different kinds and what I've talked about, how the different kinds might be useful, you can see that there are some real benefits to doing brain dumps. One of them is that research says that writing down things improves recall and memory. So if you want to remember something, like I often will write down things that I need to do, and I have like a master to-do list, but I also have early planning musings, and I have this list here of things that I need to have on hand. If I want to remember these things, it's best to write them down. And research kind of backs that up, that says that you will remember things better if you write them down. Research also has shown that students who write down things and use brain dumps reduce their cognitive load. So basically, once you write them down, your brain is not worried about them all the time, and you don't have as much stress. So I've got some tips about brain dumping just to help you if you are thinking about brain dumping or you've been using brain dumping and you're not getting the kind of function from it or the inspiration from it that you think you might want. Tip number 1 is to not edit yourself. Basically, write down everything in as much detail as you can. So a good example for this is if you know that you need to get a gift for somebody. So let's say I need to buy a gift for my mom's birthday and it's coming up. If I'm doing a brain dump and I just write gift for mom, that's not really telling my brain that I know what I'm doing. Basically, it's just another, list of things I have to do, and the brain is not 100% sure that I know what I'm doing there. But if I write down gift for mom by Thursday, going to see her Friday, then my brain can say, all right, she gets it. So basically, don't edit, write down everything and as much as you can as possible. Your brain needs to know you're on top of it, and it'll keep running through the things over and over in its mind if it doesn't know that it's down on paper in as much detail as possible. Tip 2 is to reflect and analyze the dump. So what do you do with this info? What kind of things is it telling you? If you don't reflect and analyze what you've put on there and what you can do about what you've put in the dump, then the dump is just only done half its job. And tip number 3 is to turn those thoughts into action. So this doesn't just have to be productivity based, although if you have a lot of to-dos, then you know you can action things out based on that dump. But it's also thinking about turning your thoughts into action in terms of, I'm really worried about this. How can I be less worried? Or this keeps showing up in my dumps. I need to think about how I might want to reframe that in my mind. So it doesn't have to be just productivity based. Tip 4 is to then prioritize and categorize. This is really important, and I tend to do it while I'm doing a dump, but you don't have to. So, for example, I was thinking about Instagram in this dump. Sorry, I keep putting it high. And I was thinking about strategies, ideas, and then I was doing some sort of like random planner stuff. This was in 2024. Every time I came up with a strategy-based thing, I would put it in this area. So if I'm just doing a brain dump where I'm thinking, okay, I've got to buy a gift for mom, I've got to contact the dentist, I've got to clean my kitchen. If another dump item comes up that says, oh, you've also got to clean the bathroom, I want to put it and group it with the kitchen, cleaning the kitchen. So group things in like items. Strategy items goes here, ideas items go here. That way, when you're trying to think about what things you can do or what things you need to tackle in terms of your mental and spiritual well-being, you have all of those things in the same area. And lastly, I would advise you to schedule your brain dumps fairly regularly. So oftentimes I will do a brain dump on Monday morning and write down a long list of things to do. And I think I have an example of that in this planner where I was thinking about all of these things and I wrote them down as a to-do list. And it was on, this was on a Thursday, probably to set myself up for the weekend. And there's no intention of getting all that done on the Thursday, but just getting it down on paper every week, a kind of big list where you can think about things that will happen during the week, or even just things that are on your mind, will help you remember and de-stress, which is important, but also will get you into the habit of brain dumping, of looking at your priorities and your goals for the week, and also thinking about yourself and your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-value and how you understand your own mind. So I hope this video gave you some things to think about in terms of doing your own brain dump. Let me know in the comments, do you brain dump? And do you do anything that I mentioned in this video as regular practice for your brain dumps? Thank you so much for watching me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.